So, you're suffering from sleep deprivation. Aren't we all? This documentary is meant to highlight the horrors of not getting enough sleep at night. How it affects you in school, how it affects you in your sport, how it affects you in whatever trait you do in your life. This is the Nightmares After Nightmares.
Agam,
What?
it's 9:30, dude. You're late for school. Where'd Agam go? Agam, wake up.
What? I'm awake.
Agam, wake up. Thought you said you were eating cereal, dude.
Calm down, I'm awake.
So, from a teacher's standpoint, do you really perceive the differences between the students that are switched on and working during class and the students that are on their phones, falling asleep, needing more rest? Is that noticeable?
So every kid's a little different, right? Like some kids, it's clear like they walk in and they're just out, right? Their head is down or they're dozing off in class. You can tell that they're, for whatever reason, listless or just disengaged. But some kids just run on a different type of energy and they can make it through the day. So it really depends on the kid. I mean, the clearest signs are obviously like the physical sleeping, but other more ancillary signs of sleep deprivation might be just looking withdrawn, maybe not socially engaging with their peers. You're having to give them multiple reminders to please participate in said task. And then certainly more chronic things like not having homework done, missing classes, that type of thing as well.
Do you think that these students that are struggling with their sleep, not getting enough work done, do you think that really affects their grade to the point where it needs to be corrected by a doctor, by a professional?
Again, it depends on the kid, and to me, the grade is secondary to the kid's well-being, right? Like if I have a student who's coming in and continually just looks like they're suffering just to stay awake or just to be engaged in such, like their well-being matters more to me than, I don't even know what grade they have at the moment. I have to go check my star, right? So I typically try to just talk to them and say, hey, like I've been noticing this has been happening once in a while. Like I'm not the type of teacher that's gonna come down on a kid one day for dozing off. Like that happens to all of us, it happens to teachers, right? But if it's a chronic thing, then I typically try to have a conversation and recommend, hey, like you might wanna, first off, get more sleep, but if it's something more complex than that, then yes, see a professional.
Do you think that the teachers that have the idea that if a student falls asleep in class, you need to whack the desk with a rule, or you need to wake them up right away? Do you think that's beneficial, or do you think that's more harmful than good?
That depends on the teacher's style, and I'll be upfront, that's not my style. I tend to think that there's always something going on that the teacher can't see. So you have to give the kid a chance to ask. You gotta ask him. And certainly there's some kids that like, okay, it's happening every class. It appears that they're doing it either disrespectfully or they're just not interested in the content. But if it's a kid that you get the genuine feeling that they don't want to be dozing off or they're conscious about what's happening, then something's happening, whether they're not getting sleep or they have other outside stressors, whether it's an extracurricular or a job or a family situation, then that's when you have to be empathetic.
Okay. Thank you.
Guys, come on. Why are we sleeping? Really? Sorry.
So, from a student standpoint, how does not getting enough sleep and not being well rested affect your school performance?
I think with me, like school is really important to me. Like school is my future, and even when I'm like really tired and I've had work for 4 hours that day, like right when I come home, I'm going to school, then going to work, and there's no rest in between, and I have to come home and do homework. It's a lot for me personally, and I feel like it'd be a lot for anyone, but for me, there's that drive to just like punch through it, get it done, and even if that means like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and doing the last little bit of homework because you're too tired to do it at night, that's what I see that I need to do to get it done.
In the same way, does not getting enough sleep and not resting enough, does that help affect your work performance as well when you're at work?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it makes me a bit more like grouchy. You know, I was tired yesterday and a guy didn't show up. Like just straight up didn't call in, didn't say anything, and that made me really irritated because you know, that put a lot on my shoulders, and I was already tired, so I didn't, you know, I wasn't looking forward to work. So I'd say 100% definitely.
So how would one go about are there ways to fix this problem, or it's just roll with the punches?
I feel like time management is a skill that's like really hard to grasp nowadays with the amount of distractions that we have with like social media, school, extracurriculars, whatever. It's really hard to find allotments of time where you can say, okay, I'm gonna plug this little bit of homework in here and all that. And for me, like on my days off, I plan it out ahead because I get my work schedule on Sunday. I say, hey, I've got Monday off. I'm gonna nail my homework for Tuesday and maybe a little bit from the next day. So I kind of forecast what I need to do in a certain week.
Joe,
Oh, what's up, Argon?
how's it going?
Not too bad. I'm just really tired, bro.
It's fine. We got one more class.
Yeah.
Fight through it.
I'll just take a nap when I get home. It'll be fine.
All right.
So even from a non-professional standpoint, such as Mr. Riley's, you can see that sleep deprivation really affects people in all aspects of their life, whether it be Joe's standpoint from work and school to Agham's standpoint, such as soccer and athletics. So obviously, you're a soccer player, you're an athlete. How does not getting enough sleep, not having enough energy, not being fully rested, how does that affect you in your sport and in your trade?
Well, for almost any sport, really, the amount of sleep and amount of focus you have is very important in your performance. And especially for soccer, you have to be aware of what's going on around you. And even on the bench, you have to know what's going on and pay attention, just like in class. But if you're sleepy, it's terrible on your performance. It has a big impact on how bad it is. So I think just overall being awake and aware is important.
For a number 10, you're up and down the pitch the entire match. How does you need to have that? Obviously, you need to have that amount of energy. If you're not having enough sleep and you're not getting up and down the pitch the entire match, you're going to get taken off, obviously, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, in what ways can you prevent the lack of energy, the lack of persistence to keep going up and down the field for 90 minutes?
Well, really, it's all time management, especially for high school sports. There's school also. So, like, after practice, you finish your homework, and then just organize your time properly so that you can get enough rest and sleep, time planned accordingly, so that even on the bus rides, like, those are important. So maybe that's some time to get some last-minute resting and get warmed up and focused and ready to go. So that way you can fully be at your fullest at that position.
See. That's good.
Yeah.
Fight through it.
I'll just take a nap when I get home. It'll be fine.
All right.
Let's see where Agham's at. Where? Agam!
Bro, I can't act.
I can go late. No, we still gotta do Joe's.
Oh, that's such good stock footage. I got the sun in it.
Yeah, that's sick.
And there's the street light.